Hello, YouTube. Before you join Connective, which used to be iGenius, just a very short time ago in early 2026, please consider the following. This rebrand from iGenius to Connective occurred sometime in February. The exact date varies depending on where you look, but in February of 2026, unbeknownst to many of the members who weren't paying attention, but the rebrand happened. It's essentially the same company that's now going to be selling some more things, and I'll make some brief mention about it. This change was leaked in late 25 to some of the key leadership at a time that leadership was considering bolting from iGenius, and I'm going to refer to that later as well. And this news that I'd like to tell you, this very bad news about Connective, was published yesterday, the 31st of March, 2026, coincident with a report of a very disastrous year for the parent company, Investview. Now, one of the selling points from reps, particularly Anthony Napolitano, regarding Investview, iGenius, Connective, is that it is a publicly traded company and therefore they must report to the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, and everybody is free to look. Well, here is that report. Anthony says Investview is an open book, so let's crack that book open and start reading it. I doubt that anybody who joins this company is going to, so I'm going to break it down for you. Here are the highlights from Investview's 2025. Their cash and their net income has gone up in smoke. Their gross revenue was down 31.4% compared to 2024. Their net revenue was down 30.8% compared to 2024. They showed a net loss. In other words, Investview lost money, $8.3 million, so they are back in the red after just barely getting their head above water in 2024. They had a really severe curtailment of their cash flow. Their net cash flow is now negative $3.7 million compared to a positive cash flow of $14 million last year. The math majors out there will note that that is a swing of $17.7 million and in the wrong direction. So how many, if you will be joining Connective, how many fellow distributors are going to be with you? Now, this is a difficult number to determine because Connective, iGenius, Investview won't just hand it to you. In fact, they've never said what their subscriber numbers are. You need to figure it out. And the best way to do this is to base it on deferred revenue. So deferred revenue is money that they've got in hand that they haven't given the services to at a point in time. And you pull this off the balance sheet, and that will give you a snapshot of the subscribers who were present on that date, 31 December 2025. And the best estimate, and I crunched these numbers several ways, and I'm actually giving you a somewhat generous number, 5,400 total subscribers. But folks, the news gets worse for Investview because in the last week of 2025, Game Changers, which was the largest distributor group in iGenius, split off to form a company they're calling Go AI, and they took about 3,000 distributors with them. And I wish I could say that that's as bad as it got for iGenius Connective, but it actually gets worse. Now that GC is gone, OBG, or Orange Beanie Global, or Orange Beanie Gang Group, whatever they're calling themselves now, is the only substantially sized distributor group left in Connective. And their leader, Alex Lugo, has gone on record saying that his team is not going to be selling coffee and cosmetics, which is the pivot that Connective is moving into. They're not only just teaching you how to be responsible for your money. By the way, folks, here's how to be responsible with your money. Spend less than you make, period. Gave that financial literacy advice to you for free. Lugo and OBG gone on record and publicly said that they're really not interested in selling coffee and cosmetics, and they're just going to be day trading. And that's a whole other issue, and I've covered it in other videos. So Connective, as of this date, 1 April 2026, is already a zombie MLM, which is to say that it is still operational on paper, but it is without the growth dynamics that are needed to keep any company, let alone an MLM, truly alive. Folks, your skills, knowledge, and experience are way too valuable to waste in an MLM. That's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.